How's it going, everybody? My name is Benny, or as I'm more commonly known as, Birds by BIJS. I am a naturalist, an outdoor educator, and an avid bird watcher and photographer. And today we're going to be talking about temperate coniferous forest and the corresponding plant and bird life that can be found in this unique biome. Oh, bald eagle action. Well, as you can see, we are actually in a temperate coniferous forest, and it's characterized by large stands of conifers and a really moist, lush understory. So as you can see, it is insanely green here. Moss covering the trees, lichen covering the trees as well, a variety of understory shrubs and berry-producing plants, as well as large conifers like I mentioned. And so we have some beautiful Sitka spruce in the pine family. These are trees that don't lose their leaves. They're evergreen year-round. As you can see, there's a wide mosaic of plants here in the forest, but we're going to kind of hone in for a moment on Picea sitchensis, or as it's commonly known as the Sitka spruce. Now this youngster over here actually is just kind of on the beginning of its life, and these beautiful conifers are actually the primary timber tree here in Alaska, and they can grow up to 200 feet tall with lifespans between 500 and even exceeding 1,000 years old. And this little guy is going to grow up to be one of these large, big old conifers. And they're actually coastally restricted to what is known as the fog belt along southeastern and coastal Alaska. They're an important food resource for our native folks who live in this region, as well as for birds. They get insanely large with their trunk diameter up to 2 meters. And these trees are actually extremely shade tolerant. And so as saplings, they can persist in the understory just even with a little bit of sunlight. This actually allows them to get a competitive advantage amongst other trees found in this biome. So over there we have a black-billed magpie calling, maybe looking for eggs. These are part of the jay family. They are kind of nest robbers and kind of the bad guys of the forest. These include ravens and crows and magpies as well. Now, just because I'm bird-centric or plant-interested doesn't mean I'm gonna shy away from this nice pile of scat. Now, this forest, like I said, is home to a wide variety of animals, including large megafauna like our black bear. And during this time of year, black bears are predominantly feeding on grasses, as berries have not yet fully begun to arrive on the scene, nor have the salmon started to run. And so as bear is kind of predominantly eating vegetation, and as you can see from this pile of scat, it's actually just filled with grasses and material. Now this stuff makes a great face. I'm just kidding. So as you can see, there's also a wide variety of other plants composing this vegetative mosaic here on the forest floor. And these are actually herbaceous plants, predominantly shrubs and berry-producing plants that exist in the light gaps or spaces between the large conifers. Now, one of our most dominant shrubs here and berry-producing plants is the salmonberry. This is actually a member of the rose family. Notice its 5 petals, and it looks a lot like raspberry and other members of the rubus genus. Once they're pollinated, turn to these little raspberry-looking fruits that are kind of more salmon-egged in color. This understory is quite dominated by a lot of salmonberry. Do you guys hear that? So one of our most iconic species here, located in the temperate coniferous forest, is actually the bald eagle. Bald eagles love to nest in large, mangled, and unique Sitka spruce. And there's actually a nest up on our ridge over here that I've been checking out the last couple weeks. The these beautiful hunters sit on an exposed perch and feed predominantly on fish, although they do consume carrion. What's actually going on here is both humans and black bears use this trail, but black bears are the only ones that are utilizing this tree to mark their territory. And so what they do is actually they take their big old paws and they scratch the tree. And so actually what's happening is they have scent glands and oil in their paws, and so when they scratch the tree, they're leaving basically they're marking their territory and letting other bears know that they're in the area, that they're actually here as well. And you can actually see it. There's a little bit of bear hair in there. Somebody was scratching here recently. It smells so good, like lemon pine. Now sometimes I forget to pack enough snacks while I'm hiking, but luckily these spruce tips are just in reach. And that's lunch. So as we emerge from these forest systems, we notice a really drastic shift in the plant communities here, and what we call an ecotone, right? The border between two distinct types of ecosystems. So here we have this temperate coniferous forest, and right next to it, basically at the base of this pronounced ridge, we have the limit of the upper tidal zone, and believe it or not, we actually get on the highest high tides, we get water influxing all the way up through this little drainage area. Well, thanks again for joining me on my little stroll through our temperate coniferous rainforest. Thanks for tuning in. How's it going, everybody? My name is Petros Kokani, and you're going to be here live for another episode of Master Chef. Now today we're going to be harvesting spruce tip needles to make a delightful spruce tip concoction. So I've already harvested them in advance, and then you just mash them up in your hand, and then you let them cascade into your mouth. So now this is actually a very effective technique for both removing the toxins and getting everything you need where you need it. Take a look.